What's up, everybody? We have North Carolina A&T student here with us today, Mr. Daniel Bryant. What's going on, Daniel?
Nothing much. Everything is going great. Nothing but blessed, so I cannot complain at all.
Okay, that's amazing. So, look, we're excited. I know you're getting ready to release your new docu-series. Actually, parts are already out, correctly? Or is it coming out this week?
Yes, some parts are already out. Episode 1 through 3 is currently out right now on the Daryl Bynum YouTube channel. The link is on all of my social media's bio, so you can check out the first 3 episodes, and 4 through 7 will be coming on a weekly basis. So you definitely want to tune in every Thursday at 7:00.
Okay, so look, we're going to get more into the series and how this whole thing came about and your backstory. But first, let's play. I know we have a little clip you sent us, so let's go ahead and play this, and we'll be right back.
We're going to do everything we can, but this is a serious situation.
In my mind, I'm thinking worst case scenario, he broke his leg, he broke his arm. But when the doctor was saying he's on a ventilator, he's not breathing on his own, we're hoping he has brain activity, it broke me. And I remember trying to catch my breath because I was crying so hard, and I looked up and my sister was standing in front of me. And my sister for me is always a calming presence. But at that moment, she was in her deepest pain. But when I opened my eyes, she looked at me and she said, he's gonna be okay. And that calmed me down and put me where I needed to be spiritually to say, okay, understand where this is. We're a family of faith. We've seen what God can do. And we're going to clock in right now, and we're going to pray his way through this.
All right. Yes, that was dope. I mean, go ahead, tell us a little bit about your story and what really inspired this whole docu-series.
Well, yes. Well, first, I definitely have to give an honor to God, who's the head of my life and, who saved me from this accident. I'll never say that it was, on my own power, because I was at a low place in that hospital bed, May 28th, 2019. I was in a car accident, a fiery crash where I was trapped inside the car while the car had caught on fire. I broke 6 bones in my face, a broken arm, multiple lacerations. Doctors described my lip, which was ripped open and touching the side of my ear. Had lung problems, could not breathe on my own, so I had to breathe through a ventilator. And so I know what pain feels like. I know when you feel like you're at your lowest and when you feel like your life has just been stripped from you, that feeling of being lifeless, not only in the physical, but just even mentally and spiritually. Like you feel like you can't take another step. Because every time you take a step, you feel like you're taking 10 steps backwards. And so I know what that feeling is like. And for anybody that's out there and might say, I'm going through a storm right now, going through something, it might not be as severe as a car accident, but anything when you're going through something and you feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, I had to really look at myself and understand. And I really had to, lean on my spiritual life to realize that, when you can't see that light at the end of the tunnel, it's sometimes because you're the light that needs to start to shine. And when I started to realize that and I started trying to find light in other people, but God was revealing in me, no, Daniel, there's a light that I'm waiting for you to allow to shine. So others can see what, your belief and what your determination and what your patience can do. And when you allow God to really work in your life and work over your situation and give it to him, miracles happen. And I'm a true testament to it. Like I said, I've survived an accident that I was counted out. I was labeled a fatality in the initial report. Doctors didn't know if I would be able to go back to school as a regular student. They thought I was going to need different plans and different things to accommodate me. That was labeled as a brain injury. That picture right there, you see my father just laying there over the bed, just praying that his son could just make it out and walk again, right? So I wasn't able to eat on my own. I wasn't able to walk on my own. And some of those things we take for granted, those blessings that we do each and every day. And you look at that car, you might say, wow, who walked out that car alive? And it wasn't just me. There was 2 others that walked out of that car alive. And all three of us are thriving in our own respective fields. And so it's just a true blessing just to see where I've came from. You see all those tubes and everything connected. I just remember in the hospital when I initially woke up, and when I looked to my left and I looked to my right, everything was telling me it was a reason to give up. It was telling me, well, Dan, you have this telling you that you're not going to be able to do this again. You have this telling you, and this doctor saying that, well, it's not a good chance that you'll be able to play football again or be able to be a regular student again. And so all those things were playing in my mind. And, as we really shift to, being more aware of mental health, a lot of those things were playing with my mental. And like I said, it was tough. I had those nights where I felt like, I don't think I can do this no more. I don't know if I have enough fight left in me. And the reason why we made this docu-series called My 100 is to highlight that, when you're going through something, yes, this wonderful docu-series, just think about all the other people around you that poured into you when you were empty, right? See, my cup is usually, I used to love pouring into other people, talking and motivating and empowering everybody else. But at that moment, my cup was empty. I couldn't pour it into anything. But at that very moment, there were so many people in my life, friends, family, sometimes even strangers, who showed up and showed out and poured into my life the motivation I needed to say, Dan, you can keep on going. Daniel, you got people that love you. You got people that think that you're important, that know that you're important, that know that you can do great work after you get out of this situation, that know you can even defeat this situation right now. And so when that type of belief and love is put into your life, when you felt like you don't have it in yourself, that's when you realize, I can do this. I can really conquer those goals that I once said I couldn't do. Those boundaries that I put on my dreams in life, I no longer can put those boundaries up because I have a circle around me that supports and loves me to an extent that I couldn't even understand. Like I said, when I had lost love for myself, when I felt like I wasn't that person, when I felt like the scars were ugly and things of that nature, and I had to go back to high school with those scars and with different ailments and different learning styles because of what I've been through, I felt that I've lost some self-love for myself. But at that very moment, people started to remind me, no, Daniel, we love you more than what you can do for us. We love you more. We love you because of your character. We love you because of who you are and what you bring to our life. That shining light that I talked about earlier. And that's when I really try to realize, and I understood that, well, Daniel, you hear more than what you thought. I used to play football in high school, and I thought, that's my pinnacle, playing football, playing in high school, then playing in college. That's where I want to be at. And then I realized, no, there's a little bit more for your life, right? You surviving that is now to really share your story. And so now I've created a platform called Me, Motivated and Empowered, where I share my story and I share different motivational messages for people to understand that you can conquer these situations. You can conquer your goals because you have something placed in you that no one else has. You're a unique individual with something that is placed inside your life and a light that's ready to shine and needs to shine to even the darkest of corners, the most marginalized groups, the most discriminated groups. Your light has to shine to touch those corners. And that's what I really feel like this project, brightens up in. It shines on that. It allows people to see the inside story of, what I've been through, right? What I went through in the hospital, the different, many battles that I had to go through with getting cleared and things like that. And just, the physical battles that I had to go through, learning how to walk again. Then you also see, the faith side, how my faith transformed and how I really begin to really understand my spiritual life and how I could really lean on that. You see a close-up about my family and how my family was there by my side. You see, in the hospital, I never went a day without a family member in the hospital room. Never went a day. And so you see all those different things in a deeper look in this docu-series called My 100. You definitely get to see a lot of, post-accident and post-hospital stay after I got discharged. So you get to see how I transform my pain into my purpose and how I begin to do speaking engagements and events and stuff to cater to people's social and emotional needs. And so now I think this My 100, I'm just so overjoyed with it because we put a lot of work into it, a lot of time with the producer, Daniel Bryant, who was out of Georgia, and it's actually a fellow HBCU alum of Claflin University. So shout out to Daniel Bryant and his great work of producing, recording, and doing all of this docu-series. And like I said, it's just really a time to really shine a light on, the blessings that I've had, the miracle that has taken place, because I believe it was my duty, right? God doesn't just bring you through things just for you just to go through them, but he brings you through things so you can be that example for others to see his power and his immense patience. And so that's just really what my 100 is just to really to highlight not only what I went through, but then also the people that surrounded me with so much unity and love at a time that I needed it. And so I just hope that it really touches you. I hope that it, really inspires you to say, I can do this. No matter the situation, you can find some type of inspiration from this story to understand that I can continue to push. Matter of fact, not even just push, but I can continue to climb for my goals, because we know that climbing is for progression with elevation. And that's what we look to do, not just going forward in life, but also adding that elevation piece to that. And so this is what my 100 is, and I hope you all enjoy.
Yes, look, you just gave us a whole word, Daniel. And I want to back up a little bit too, just to kind of get some timeline. So what year were you, and you probably said this, but what year were you when the accident happened?
Yeah, so I was 17 years old at the time, and I was a junior in high school. So this is back in 2019. And a little backstory, like I said, I used to play football. I was all conference 3 of my years. I felt like I was the man. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like I was the man. Nobody could touch me, all that type of stuff, right? And I was going into my senior year. And most players know, especially in high school, your senior year is very important. I had a strong junior year, a really strong campaign, had colleges interested in me and things of that nature. So, the accident happened in May. So it's happening right before the summertime, going into my senior year. And so, my mind as a junior football player is like, okay, how can I get better? How can I really elevate? So my senior year is really like sets it off for these coaches. And so when this happens, May 28th, right before summer ball and everything like that, and workouts and things like that, that put a hole in my plans. And so, like I said, it was really tough. But like I said, it happened in 2019, my junior year of high school.
And so your junior year of high school, that was 2019. So kind of walk us through the recovery period, because like you stated earlier, it was a lot that you mentally, physically, and emotionally. So kind of walk us through that recovery period and you entering college.
Yeah. So the recovery piece, it's a miracle in itself, because initially, like I said, I was labeled as a fatality on the scene, but to see God's spirit of healing over my life and the speed of it. Accident happened May 28th. I got discharged June 25th. And doctors and everybody in that hospital room were so amazed. And, the only word that they could come up with, it was miraculous. That's literally what the doctor said, because he didn't understand how, someone with such severe injuries, someone that was in ICU for 17 days on a breathing ventilator, bed bound, couldn't walk, couldn't talk, had to eat through a tube up his nose because his mouth was wired shut. He just had having surgery over his face, all these different things, having diffuse axonal brain injury, all these different things going on. And he's speaking now, he's walking now, and everything is picking up with speed. And like I said, I got discharged the 25th. And then I had to continue to do rehab throughout the whole summer, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy. And so, the speed of recovery, it was just a blessing in itself. And then fast forward and going into my senior year, I was actually cleared to play football, I think a week before the season started. And so that was a blessing to say, hey, when doctor said I probably wouldn't be able to play football ever again, and it was going to be a 9-month process, it only took 3 months. And so that was a true blessing of being able to play my senior year and then being able to do great things at Enloe High School my senior year, and then transitioning to the greatest HBCU in the land, North Carolina A&T State University, really gave me and I had to make a tough decision. If I wanted to play a football at another school, or if I wanted this to be a student at A&T. And I knew A&T, gives so many opportunities for their students. And I said, this is the time where I can really elevate and find out who Daniel is. And so I can really share my story and then really get a quality education at the same time. And so A&T has provided so many opportunities for me, whether it be scholarships, whether it be, internship possibilities, whether it be connections and networking with staff and even the student body. Has really helped me be on a platform where I can really create a business, and then also really share my story to inspire not only people that are older than me, but then also people my age. And that's where the true impact happens. And so, like I said, choosing A&T is probably one of the greatest decisions I've made in my short life. But like I said, I haven't been looking back. And ever since then, I've just been trying to be a blessing to everybody that I encounter.
Wow, that's really amazing. Only a month, the accident happened, and I'm just, even replaying these timelines in my head. Only a month in the hospital, and you're discharged, and you say you were cleared to play. You said a week before the semester season started.
Yep, a week before, and like I said, doctor said it was miraculous. And for me, at that time, football was my main goal to get back to, because I felt like I had unfinished business. I felt like, for me, my teammates saw what I was going through, and they wasn't rushing me. They were like, well, Daniel, you don't got to play, man. We're going to hold it down for you and all that. I said, no, guys, you don't understand. I got to get back because I got to prove to myself, because I was at a place where I was about to quit and check out. And if anybody's ever felt like that, have been in a low place where you can't pick yourself back up, and you feel like everything in your life has been crashing down, everything that you've been working for, everything that you've been working out for and studying for and trying to create connections for, and it's all down in the drain in the snap of a finger. If anybody knows that feeling, then you know that when you have the opportunity to get back, and not only get back to the place that you were at, but then also be even greater than where you were at, everybody's going to take that opportunity. And that's why I felt like, and, a lot of people, question, well, Daniel, why did you play football after going through all that? It was really a mindset of, Daniel, what can you do when your back is against the wall and when you're at the lowest point of your life and you need help to pull yourself up and really elevate to a point of where you thought that you probably couldn't even be at? And that's where I was really trying to prove to myself. It was all intrinsic. It was all trying to say, Dan, you can do this. You can do this. You continue to push your body to limits that you can't even set for yourself. And so that's really the reason why. And I just continue to, like I said, I do that even post football. I do that now in my business with Me Motivate Empower. When I get booked for a speaking engagement, I really try to push myself to give the best I can in everything that I do. And that's truly that's who I am now, is really trying to give the best of me, because so many people gave their best, in saving my life that day, from the EMS, the firefighters, the doctors that were on scene, the people praying in the waiting room. So many people gave their best. And so I cannot go throughout this life not giving my best when I know there were so many people that picked up that burden for me that day.
Man, and I think your story is even more amazing too, because a lot of people, your age, younger, older, a lot of people would have just given up after that. A lot of people would have wanted to get back on the field, but you literally, you taken that obstacle, that loss, that happened, and you turned this into this whole platform, this motivational platform for people. And now you have, this whole motivated and empowered, platform that you have. You're speaking. I want to get into that a little bit too, of everything that you're doing with Motivated and Empowered. And you say you're getting booked for speaking. So let's kind of talk about that, and even maybe offer some words of advice to other students, or even just people in general looking to get into the, the motivational speaking field.
Yeah, of course. This was something that my business got created in October of my freshman year of 2020. It was in my dorm room. All Aggies, most of the newer Aggies, they know, Aggie Suites F. That was my dorm freshman year. 160B. I was on a Zoom call with my mom and my aunt, and we really try to outline what me and Motivated and Empowered was going to be like, what I wanted to do with it. And that's how it was created. And it was created from the fact of, I knew that I wanted to share my story. When I got out the hospital, I knew I wanted to share my story, but I never was really a public speaker before the accident, right? I was always reserved, always to myself. Post accident, my mom always says that accident has opened up your mouth, because all I can do is talk. And so from that point now, I really try to figure out how can I frame my story, not only into like a quick, speech here and there, but then also how can I create this into a platform that exudes motivation in every single aspect that it can, right? It doesn't have to be an accident. And I speak about a lot of different aspects of life. You know, I do things with the college students. I do stuff even with the younger generation in K through 12. And so I do it from a far spectrum. I do things at church and different things like that in different organizations. So it's a long spectrum of what I talk about, but it was really always, you know, surrounded by how can I really shine my light, and my light is what I've been through and how I can show people, you know, what I've been through and where I'm going. And so how can I create that into a platform for others to really go to and feel like, okay, this is a safe place I can go to. I can talk to Daniel about this, or I can watch one of Daniel's videos and I can say, hey, I'm inspired to start something. And that's why I really wanted to do it in college. I'm glad that I started my freshman year, because so many times people have businesses, they have ideas, but they don't jump off the porch with it. They don't, you know, really want to take that initiative to say, hey, I want to start this now. And, you know, if anybody knows, you know, college is one of the best times to start anything, because this is probably, you know, the most time you're going to be surrounded by people from different walks of life, from different states, with different connections. You're going to meet so many people that you're probably not going to see this many people from this different areas in any other part of your life. And so this is really why I created it. I knew it was a need for college students, because I know how stressful college can be. I just got out of a final exam earlier today, so I understand how stressful college is. So how can I really, you know, exude motivation for students, but then also how can I do it for adults? And I wanted to really, you know, make myself diverse, where I can really talk to any and every single group of people, no matter the walk of life. And so I go to different type of churches. I go to different type of organizations, people with different races, different backgrounds, different sexual orientations. So I try to diversify myself. And so I can really reach all types of people, because the real thing is, you know, I speak from the heart. You know, oftentimes, you know, some people speakers, they get caught up in writing, trying to make sure everything is perfect. When you speak from the heart, what's needed is going to be heard. When you speak from the heart, what's needed is going to be heard. And so that's where I really started to focus on. I really say, okay, how can I speak from my heart? And how can I really speak from that to really get a message out, right? And, you know, sometimes you have to go make sure you write things down and everything like that. But I really try to focus about how can I, you know, really touch the hearts of people coming from my heart. And so that's really how I got started. I really got started by simple with my phone, Instagram, making little Instagram reels and TikTok reels. And it started gaining traction. I did one of my first speaking engagements at a church. People loved it. They was really inspired. They were touched by it. And so then I started being able to grow from that. I started to be able to get more booking events at schools and different organizations. I had a speaking event at the Raleigh Convention Center with the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. I was able to speak in front of over 3,000 educators across North Carolina. So things like that really birthed who I am today. And I can't take it for granted. It's really, I really appreciate everything that has come my way and things that are going to come my way.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, you're doing all of this while being a college student too. So like you said earlier, it's a lot. You're juggling exams and work and trying to stay while still filming a documentary. Like I know that's a lot.
And now one thing that I would want to say with that, I'm sorry about cutting you off on that, but the reason why I don't see it, you know, and all the time my friends and my family ask me, "Dan, are you burnt out and stuff like that? Or you have too much on your plate?" You know, sometimes too much on your plate is sometimes a good thing. So I don't have to go back for seconds. But I often like, you know, certain things that I do, it doesn't really hurt me or it doesn't really too much on me because it's something that's connected with my purpose. See, that's the difference between passion and purpose. See, purpose has no conditions with it, right? You're going to do it because it's really why you're here, is what you want to do, because it's something that is intertwined in who you are as a person and the gift that God has blessed you with. See, with passion, you know, you can like to do something, but as soon as things get tough or as soon as other things pop up that you might want to do, that passion can get compromised. But when it's aligned with your purpose, there's no compromise and there's no other strings that can pull you, because your purpose is with you. And when you know that, it's a beautiful feeling when you understand and understand who you are as a person and why you're here.
You said a whole word. You said the difference between purpose and passion. I think that's so important. A lot of times people they will start things, businesses, or just do stuff, a lot of times for the money, or maybe they are passionate about it, but it may not be aligned with their purpose. So that's important.
And I've definitely learned that.
And, I want to talk too, before we get ready to go, I want to talk about even the importance of your faith. I know you said it earlier, like God, but talk about how important that was, especially for people who, the non-believers, they want to, say all this stuff. How important was that for you?
And I definitely can speak to this because if anybody's ever been through something, like I said, it doesn't have to be as severe as an accident. But like I said, when you literally cannot pull yourself up, and when everything around you is telling you that you can't, that is a situation that, like I said, if you've been through that before, you understand how tough it is, because I had doctors tell me that I wouldn't be able to do this and that again. Even myself, I even had self-doubt sometimes when I saw those monitors and I saw those tubes up my nose, and I remember taking my first few steps, and my legs are trembling because they've been sitting in the bed for weeks and weeks and weeks and not being able to stand. And so I think the greatest appreciation for my faith is because when everything around me said that I couldn't, right, something told me that I could. And I know it wasn't me, because I had self-doubt. I was really down and out. And I know it wasn't, papers and, what is the science saying, stuff like that, because that was even going against me, because they even labeled me as a fatality. But as soon as I started really praying and understanding, like, let me give this over to God. My family, right? You see in that little quick video when my aunt was talking about how, we're a family of faith. Let's, transform these tears and let's transform them into some serious prayer. Let's use this as a time to really come together, and let's show the power of unity and hope and faith. Let's show that, and let's build that bridge so they can connect and we can see something happen. And that's the main thing that I would say. Like I said, I leaned on my faith, right? I just can't say it no more, because like I said, when everything around me told me I couldn't, God told me I can. And he gave me the opportunity that I could. And he's brought me from that point at my lowest to now to a point of where now I'm leaping and I'm jumping and I'm so joyful now. And I can't stop smiling. Like if anybody sees me on campus, I'm most likely probably smiling. Or when I see you, I'm probably smiling, because like I said, it's just a true blessing that I'm even alive. And when you have that happen in your life, when things that you used to be able to do are taken away or put on pause, see that level of uncertainty of knowing, okay, am I going to be able to walk again? Just even think about that right now as you listen to this. Think about that. If your ability to walk was compromised in the next 30 seconds, your ability to eat again was compromised in the next 30 seconds, your ability to say, I love you to the people that you love was compromised, how would you feel? Where would you turn to? And that's what happened to me, because I couldn't turn to my family because I had surgeries going back and forth. I had surgeries back to back. I couldn't turn to, Instagram. I couldn't turn to Instagram. I couldn't turn to my social media. I couldn't turn to my friends and family, because I was in a situation when I was by myself in that hospital bed. And when I had tubes and I had monitors saying beeping and beeping and beeping, and I had medicine going in and out of me right now. And I was in a point of where I couldn't turn to anybody but God. And when you're ever in that situation, you understand that it's his power that oversees and intercedes your situation. Because trust and believe, I've been there and I know it for sure. Because like I said, it's a true blessing. It's a miracle that I am here and that I'm alive. Just imagine being counted out and being saying that you were a fatality. Just imagine mothers out there or fathers getting that phone call that your baby's been in a car accident. And the doctor is saying, we're doing any and everything that we can to save his life, but we do not know the outcome. And they hang up. And you're rushing from work, trying to get there just to see your baby. And they let you back in that hospital room for 20 seconds as your baby's face is ripped completely open, blood streaming from his head. And he has tubes going in and out. And doctors are even palm the face, and they don't understand, and they're shaking their head and they're looking at their clipboard, not understanding how this person is going to be alive. And at that time, he's 17 years old. What is a 17-year-old going to do? How is he going to be able to react to this? How is he going to get out the hospital and go back to school and go back with those scars and emotional feelings, understanding that, is he even worth being alive? What's his purpose? God, why did you keep me here? And so just imagine, just take some time to imagine that right now. Because if you've ever been through something where you felt like you can't pull yourself by your bootstraps and you couldn't pull yourself out of that, and your cross or your burden was too heavy for you, but it was a certain person in God that was able to pick up that burden and carry you as well, and then elevate you to a point where now you can be able to share your word and share who you are and share what you've been through, to maybe, just maybe, inspire one person's heart, that if they could just believe and if they could just continue to press on and push and climb for their goals and reach their pinnacle, but then also reach to another one, then they'll be able to see something happen in their life. They can be able to see a miracle happen. And so, like I said, I've been there before. And as the tears and stuff come now and the smile happens, like I said, it's just me thinking back to where I've been through and where I'm going. And like I said, I ask anybody that's watching this call right now, just think back to a time where you were down and out. Think back to a time where you didn't have everything, when the bills couldn't be paid, when the money wasn't looking right, when the health wasn't looking right, when your loved ones were being lost and things of that nature, when you felt like you didn't have love, when you felt like you weren't important to society. Just think about that right now. And just think about where you're at now and how you've been blessed and how you've grown from that point and how you're going to continue to grow. Now, I want you to really think about that and think about how you can share that story or share that little mini message with someone else, because there's someone else going through. There's someone else on this call. There's someone else listening right now that's going through something that needs a little bit of inspiration, that needs a little fire starter for their hopes and their dreams, because right now they feel like they're hopeless or they're lifeless. And so they need that fire starter. So that's why it's our duty, it's our obligation to share those stories. Blessings after blessings, miracle after miracle, share those stories. Because you never know who can be inspired. You never know whose life can be changed by hearing what God has done over your life. And that's what I really want to convey with my 100. That's really what this is all about. I really want people to see, that you can make it through. You're hearing it from someone that has been through it. And that's probably going to go through it again, but I understand the power. I understand not only the power that God has, but the power that he's placed in me and the power that he's placed in each and every person who's listening to this call. And so never take it for granted. Never think that after you've been pulled out of a situation, it's time to be silent. That it's time, okay, I got my miracle or I got my breakthrough. It's time for me to keep on trucking along and not telling nobody. At the very moment your breakthrough comes, that's the very moment that you got to open up your mouth and proclaim the power that God has placed over your life, that he's done over your situation, so others can see. Because you never know who you can inspire. You never know who you can motivate. You never know who you can empower. Day by day, hour by hour, second by second, you never know who you can inspire. And that's what my mom always told me, that once I got out the hospital, she says, you got to understand, Daniel, you have a powerful story. Well, don't ever let anybody leave your presence who wants to know about your story without knowing who you give the thanks to. And those words still ring in my head today. Every single day that I go and I encounter new people, when I go on, internship opportunities, even if it's professional or personal or business ventures and things of that nature, I never leave that opportunity unspoken of where I can share. And anybody asks me, okay, well, Daniel, what's that scar on your face? Oh, let me tell you, because I've been through something. And I've been through something that God has brought me through. Let me just share a little bit of my story. Maybe it can inspire you. And I want everybody to take that charge up tonight. Really look to inspire other people with your stories. And that's all I would have to say.
I mean, look, you said all that needed to be said. That, you said a lot. And especially that last part, you said, when God brings you through something, don't just get your miracle and breakthrough. And then it's like, you kind of forget about everybody else, always making sure that he gets the credit. And I think too, that sometimes why God, can allow us to go through things so that he can get the glory and the credit after, he brings us on the other side. So that's powerful. So as we get ready to wrap up one more time, tell us how people can watch the documentary and, the episodes when it officially launches.
Well, yes. So you can go to the Daryl Bynum YouTube channel. I'm going to pull up real quick so you can see real quick. This is his YouTube channel. You can go watch episodes 1 through 3 right now. I don't know if it's going to show because of the light.
Okay, I can see it a little bit. Okay, I see Daryl Bynum Jr. Okay.
Yeah, Daryl Bynum Jr. And like I said, if you go to any of my social media accounts, D Bryant _me, that's D Bryant, DBRYANT _me, ME. You can look at my link in my bio, and you can find my the link to the docu-series. You can also go to my business page, which is me _motivated empowered, and you can see that as well. So you can go to the bio link and get that and watch it. It's on YouTube. And like I said, it's only on YouTube. It's only on that channel. So you can be able to view it and watch it. Episodes 1 through 3 are up there right now. Episode 4 will be up this Thursday at 7:00. And like after that, it'll be, like I said, a weekly basis of, 5 through 7. And like I said, episode 7 is a great one. I'm just letting y'all know now. It's a great one. I'm just letting you know now. It's a great one.
Okay. This is dope. We're really proud of you too, Daniel. You're doing all this, being a student, so this is amazing. So this Thursday, every Thursday, and it's 7 episodes total, right?
Yep, 7 episodes total. Episode 4 is this Thursday at 7:00. And like I said, it'll be every Thursday at 7:00 on the YouTube channel.
Okay, every Thursday. All right. Well, anything else you want to leave before we go?
I would just want to say to stay motivated and stay empowered. I also want to say thank you to Historically Black Sense. I've been an ambassador for close to 2 years now. And so, like I said, just been a blessing being a part of the Historically Black Sense family, being able to really convey messages and be able to really highlight what's happening on HBCU campuses all over. And so I think that's a true blessing. And I'm just so happy to be a part of the family and how we can continue to do great work.
Yes.